Well, since the last story about my life triggered y'all men so bad, here's another story about my life that's gonna trigger you even some more. Trigger warning. So, I grew up in rural Jamaica, Clarendon to be exact, country. I was born in 1985. So, when I was growing up, my house, we didn't have a fridge. We didn't have a TV until I was big. To drink anything cold, we have to get ice. We gotta go buy ice from somebody else's house. And for some part, we did not have electricity. In the neighborhood I grew up in, it was one light post to every mile. So you gotta get home before it's dark. I had to light a candle to read at night because I like to read. My mom didn't want me to burn out all the oil in the lamp. So sometimes I have to blow the light out and read in the dark. And she used to always tell me, you're going to mess your eyes up. But I wanted to read and I didn't want to sleep. But through books, I started to see the world as a big place. And I said, I want to see the world one day. This ain't it for me. It's so much more. So, excuse me, I started telling my mom, I said, Mom, I read in books about America and England and Germany and France, and I'm going to travel to those places when I grow up. And she laughed and she said, Girl, you're a dreamer. There's no way you could go to those places because we don't know anybody in those places, and somebody have to sponsor you to go to those places. And I said, I'm going to show you. You will see. And for the most part, me and my mom never had a good relationship the minute I turned a teenager. Resulted into me being a teenage mom. And after that, I start to even think deeper into getting away because I did not want my daughter and my son to not see nothing, not have nothing. I couldn't fathom my children wanting something and I couldn't give it to them. And who was going to depend on a man? You depend on a man until Jesus come out the sky. And I realized that very soon. I said, ain't no man coming to save you, girl. You're going to have to go figure it out yourself. So, when my daughter was like 2, I met this guy. And this man came like Jesus' own son. You hear me? Class A narcissist. By then, I had moved out of my mom's house and was living in a little house, a little like a block from where she lived. It was close enough, so when I had no food, I could go back and forth to my mom or my dad's house to go get food for me and the kids. And it was okay because I had to deal with my mom 24 hours a day. And I met this man. And when I met this man, I stopped going to my mom's house for food because this man would always bring home money for food. But we were still dirt poor. We never had nothing. And it was okay. I felt like I was in love. But something inside of me wanted more. And I remember thinking, my daughter have to go to school next year. How am I going to afford to send my daughter to school? Because if you know where I'm from, there's no job there for nobody. You either get a husband that's going to take care of you and just be contented with that. And when I say take care of, I mean give you food. You don't got no clothes unless you got people from abroad that's sending you hand-me-downs. And we never had those. We never had family living overseas to send us anything. So basically, that wasn't the life for me. That was just not the life for me. And I used to always talk about my dreams with him. And every time I talk about my dreams with this man, he would shoot me down. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm like, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just be here in this little fucking house with you until we're both old and gray with 12 kids? This is not going to happen. I will not allow this to happen. So now I start to plot. So I have a diary because I like books. I always keep a diary. Sometimes I have 4. I just write stuff down because I've always wanted to be, and harder. So I have a diary and I'm, writing down my little thoughts, my little plans for my life and, daydreaming. manifesting. I didn't know what that was. I was just doing that. And that man went, searched through my stuff because obviously he realized that my heart wants more. And oh, he attacked me talking about, oh, I can't believe you're planning to leave me. I said, I'm not planning to leave you. I'm planning to go get a better life for me and my kids. And you have to allow that because this ain't it. Next thing, this man started to tell me, oh, you want to have a baby with me, whatnot. Yeah, the baby trap, the reproductive abuse. So I went and I told my mom, and my mom took me somewhere and got some pills for me and said, don't let him know you have these. And that's why I ended up not having a baby by that man. But long story short, I kept having this burning desire to go out into the world. And I realized that he was not supportive of my dreams. And I realized that I had to start